Okay, welcome back, folks. Just a quick update on the camper here. As you can see, I got the walls on, and I've got the roof in, or the roof trusses in. You can see I got the roof kind of framed like a floor where everything sits on top of the 2x4 wall. They are 2x6 rafters, if you will, and it has 2x6 rim joists. Everything's screwed together with 3.5-inch framing, outdoor rated framing screws. And then on the 4-foot ones, 4 foot from the end, I do a double stud and a double rafter. This one's a little short. This stud is because I put it in after the fact. Anyway, you can see I did a double stud and a double rafter at the 4-foot mark, so you don't have to share when your sheeting lines up. But on all the single rafters, I put in those, I guess you call them, I don't know, they're wind ties or rafter ties or hurricane ties. I don't know what you call them, but anyway, it's not going anywhere because I got 5-inch screws going up through this plate, and into the 2x6 rim joist all the way around. And then, of course, I got those clips holding it down to the top plates. The roof ain't going anywhere. All right, I want to break in here while I'm editing. Just a quick note on the roof and everything being tied together. I want to put up a drawing here of how the whole wall and floor and roof system is laid out. The entire roof, from the very top of the rafters to the very bottom of the floor, the very bottom side of the floor framing, is 8 feet and 1/4 inch. That way, when I put an 8-foot piece of plywood on the outside of this entire structure and it gets nailed in across the rim joist of the ceiling rafters, and then the top plates of the wall, and then it gets nailed all the way down the stud, and then it gets nailed across the bottom floor framing, the outside sheathing ties this whole system together. From the floor to the ceiling, the whole thing, it gets tied together with the outer sheathing. So when I say the roof ain't going anywhere, I mean it really cannot go anywhere when it's all tied together. So it's going to be pretty strong. Oh, and in case you're wondering why it's 8 feet and 1/4 inch, it's because I added that extra 1/4 inch to the stud length because I didn't want the plywood to sit all the way flat on the bottom. So it didn't, like, if there was any moisture buildup, it would be just a 1/4 inch above the base of the trailer where it's sitting on. So that's why. Just give you a look at how it's going. I don't have the wheel wells covered up yet. That will just be a piece of plywood or something across the top to enclose that. That ain't a big deal. And then I'll show you the outside here. I got a window cut in. It's a 24 by 36-inch window. And I put the sheeting on by myself, and you can see up here, I still got the plywood tacked onto the rafters, so that way when I put the plywood up from the outside, I just lift it all the way up until it touches the plywood, and then I know it's flush with the top of the ceiling. And then I'm going to have if this is my exterior wall sheeting, I'm going to have my roof decking go over the wall sheeting. So anyway, I'll show you that on the outside here. Anyway, here's the back end of it. I have a 32-inch door framed all the way up to the top. I have not bought a door or found a door for it yet, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to use, but I have a 32-inch opening, and then I can frame in whatever the height is later. I still have to put on there's the top of it right there. I still have to put on this back wall, but it only consists of 1.5 feet on either side. So let me get around to the other side here. I used ACX plywood on the exterior, which is A-grade exterior, so it's fairly smooth with no big knot holes or anything, because the roll-on liquid membrane is going to go over the entire thing, the roof, the walls, everything. So I just wanted it to be as smooth as it could be. This side doesn't have a window, and it may get one, it may not. I can easily cut it in after the fact. Now I don't have the toolbox in the front here. You can see the breakaway box, which is basically a battery in a box, and then I got my electrical junction box there. The exterior sheeting is nailed on with some 2 3/4 inch ring shank nails. I bought an air nailer for doing that. The ACX exterior sheeting is, I don't know if I mentioned, it's 1/2 inch thick. And then I did use a a router to trim the corners, a finished trim router to trim the corners, so that gives a pretty nice finish. Let me go show the other one here. If you can see on this corner, it turned out pretty slick. The other side isn't quite as perfect, but this one turned out really nice. Really nice. I was going to do a little cutout of a wheel well, kind of follow the contour of the interior wheel well there, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not. I might just leave it. That one corner of that piece of plywood got smudged up a little bit. May have to put a piece of trim across the bottom there, but I don't know. I may just leave it straight across the bottom, and because you can get the tire in and out no problem. It doesn't need to be trimmed out, so probably just leave it like that maybe. And I'm still undecided about that. Anyway, all I got left here for the exteriors, I still have to put the roof decking on, and I'll get her done. I'll get the roof on. Anyway, hopefully the next update I will have all the walls up, door in. I'm probably gonna make my own door. I have to stick around and see what I'm gonna do for that. I got a pretty good idea for that, and hopefully by the time next week rolls around, I can have the door made, and well, for sure the exterior coating be all rolled on, and the exterior coating should be finished by then. Maybe not the door, but I would at least want to have the exterior roll-on liquid membrane, they call it. I'll show you what that is in next week's video. Please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the future updates on this camper build. But anyway, that's all I have for now. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.